Imagine a river worrying about whether it's really flowing the right way, whether it's fast enough, whether it's dodging enough rocks, whether it's doing a good enough job. Sounds absurd, right? A river just flows. It doesn't fight against itself. And yet we humans do exactly that every single day. We carry responsibility like a backpack full of stones, believing we have to keep every single one of them in mind at all times, or everything will fall apart. Taoism, a Chinese philosophy over 2,000 years old, has something very simple but radical to say about that. You don't have to. In this video, let's look at why. Taoism traces back to Lao Tzu and his famous book, the Tao Te Ching. The central concept is called Tao, often translated as the way. But Tao can't really be translated. It's what underlies everything, the natural course of things. One key idea from it is Wu Wei, literally non-action. But that doesn't mean laziness or passivity. It means acting without resistance to the natural flow of things. Acting without tensely fighting against how things are. You could translate it like this: do what's necessary, but stop fighting against reality. And this is exactly where responsibility comes in. Here's the thinking error most of us make. We confuse taking responsibility with having to control everything. Responsibility means, I do my part as well as I can. The need for control means, I believe that if I don't constantly think about everything, worry, and secure every outcome, everything will fall apart. Taoism would say, that's hubris. It's the belief that you're the only thing holding the world together. Lao Tzu writes, in essence, in the Tao Te Ching, the wise person acts without claiming the outcome as their own. They do their work and then let go. Not because they don't care, but because they've understood. After you've acted, life itself takes over. Yin and Yang. Everyone knows it as a symbol. But the real point behind it often gets overlooked. Yin and Yang don't stand for good and evil. They stand for opposites that need each other and balance each other, without either one winning over the other. Applied to responsibility, that means there are things you can influence: your actions, your preparation, your care. That's your Yang, your active part. And there are things you can't influence: how others react, chance, the outcome. That's Yin, the letting go. A healthy life needs both. If you only live Yang, only controlling, securing, over-planning, you tip into exhaustion and anxiety. That's the state most of us call making ourselves crazy. Let's make this concrete. 3 principles you can apply right away. First, the bamboo, not the oak. In Taoism, bamboo is seen as a role model. It's flexible. It doesn't break in a storm because it bends without losing its roots. Apply that to responsibility. Plan, but don't hold rigidly to your plan when circumstances change. Flexibility isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Second, Ziran, one's own nature. Ziran means of itself, so. Things follow their own nature if you let them. You don't have to save every person, personally solve every problem, or make every worry your own. Some things simply unfold on their own, even without your constant intervention. Third, letting go after acting. This is the most important point. Do what's within your power. Prepare, be diligent, do your part. And then, let go. Constantly ruminating over whether you really did everything right doesn't change the outcome anymore. It just drains your energy for what comes next. Taoism doesn't give you an excuse to be irresponsible. It makes you aware that real responsibility can be carried lightly, like a river that flows because it's in its nature, not because it forces itself to. You're not responsible for keeping the entire universe in balance. You're responsible for your next step. So, do your part, and then let go. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments which Taoist principle spoke to you the most. See you next time.